Oh, wow, that's the first I've heard on that one. Well, the tone of the movie for me, the humor, I wanted it to sort of have its own tone and have it really be able to go into a few different areas. So on a certain level, there's obviously like the satiric, self-referential humor about Hollywood and movies. But I also, really wanted to make sure that people could connect with the characters, even though they're these self-absorbed actors, and on the outside it might seem like they would be hard for an audience to connect with. I really felt it was important that they were real people and that they actually had, there was a real journey for all the characters, because I feel like that's really important in any comedy. No matter how broad it is, you have to, on some level, have some sort of connection with the characters, because once you start the movie, it can be funny, but at 15 or 20 minutes into the movie, anybody wants to follow us. Anybody who goes to a movie wants to follow a story and be connected. So I wanted to have hopefully a few different types of humor going on in the film, and the broader stuff is there. Hopefully there's also just humor you would get if you don't know anything about. There's physical comedy. There's I think just sort of the humor based on the character interactions. For me, a lot of my favorite scenes in the movie are the scenes with the guys around the campfire, where they're just talking to each other. It's just character interaction. I don't know if you said Ethan Cohen. It's Etan Cohen, who's not the Ethan Joel and Ethan Cohen. It's a different one. But if that's what you meant, I'm not sure. So for me, that's what I wanted. I wanted it to have its own tone. For me, movies that I've always enjoyed over the years sort of, just didn't worry about sort of saying it's one kind of movie or another in terms of the genre. And by the nature of the movie, I think it sort of crosses a couple of different genres, which I think is okay if people can, as long as it's consistent in what the tone is for the movie. In terms of comics from the past, I mean, for me, just growing up watching people like Bill Murray and Steve Martin, and those guys were, Albert Brooks's movies. Those guys were, for me, they were the guys I watched when I was growing up and loved movies, everything from like Ghostbusters to Caddyshack. Those were the guys that that made me want to get into comedy. And Owen, I think we'll work together a lot, hopefully in the future, but he just wasn't available at the time we were making the movie. Not really. I mean, there was a little something that happened in the States in terms of a certain group, but nothing from veterans, and I think it was because it's pretty clear in the movie that the sense of humor, or the point of view of the humor, is all really referencing actors, and it's really actors making fun of the actors' ignorance and what actors will do and what lengths they'll go to be taken seriously. So for me, it was really important when we were making the movie that was very clear in terms of Robert Downey's character, where he's an Australian, white Australian actor playing a black American character. It had to be very clear that this was an actor with a big ego who was doing something he probably shouldn't do. It was that to me was always where the focus of the humor was on the actors and the world of movie making and those excesses and those wrong decisions. And so I feel like that's pretty clear to people, I think, when they see the movie. Yeah. I think Europeans have a better sense of humor, maybe. I mean, it's to me, it's I think it's, as I was saying, it's pretty clear to me that it's it's a movie and it's a slightly maybe edgy tone in the humor, but I always wanted to be very clear that we were making fun of ourselves, and I don't think any of the humor is mean-spirited or is it intended to be. And I think sometimes people see an opportunity in time to benefit from attention that's being paid to something, and that's their prerogative. But I feel like you can't really that the political correctness thing sometimes in the States does go a little bit too far, but that can't stop you from doing what you want to do and making the movies you want to make. I actually felt like we were understood very well by the people who saw the movie. I think most of the people who were protesting there had not seen the movie, and I think based on the fact that people went to the movie and seemed to enjoy it, I feel like it was very clear when they saw the film that what the humor was about, and that's the great thing about when you're making a movie. It's sort of the movie speaks for itself, and people will have reactions to the film, and that's you know, that's what movies are about. They're a point of view, and people can discuss them. And the great thing, I think, was for this movie, you know, when people saw the movie, you know, I've sat in audiences with people and they laugh and they have fun, and I think they get that you know, that it's a comedy. I don't know. I mean, for me, you know, I don't sort of look at it that way in terms of, you know, sort of saying I'm going to focus on one thing or another. I just sort of look at it in terms of the specific movie. But for me, this movie was, you know, it's pretty different than Zoolander in that I think it's more about an ensemble and an idea rather than just about a character. But you know, all that is sort of the nature of, I think, being an actor, being a model. Not that I would know about being a model, but you know, it just seems to me a lot of it is based on, you know, we have to deal with ego and people's perception of one another, and that's, you know, just sort of human nature. So, you know, on that level, it's sort of interesting, I think. Ooh. I guess would it be wrong to say the bad guy in a movie? I don't know. You know, I'm not really interested in vilifying her. I'm just very, you know, supportive of Obama and Biden, and I feel like that's, you know, it's really important for us in this country right now to make that change. And you know, I don't know what kind of actress she is. I don't know. I don't. Actually, yeah, I'm not going to get into that.
You can say it.